And hello once again. Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to this edition of A Link to the Past Randomizers Open League Playoffs. This bonus bronze match series between Oops All Foxes and Last Locationeers. Today we're bringing you Invrosia for this Game 4 match. Foxes up 2-1. So, let's have at it, shall we? Zeruvian here on commentary. Joining me today is my good friend Zeke Hywen. Zeke, what's going on?
We're playing Invrosia, or they are, and Invrosia a fun mode. We get to play in the inverted world states today. We start with a sword. Similar to Ambrosia, the bosses are guaranteed to have a regular item, but in order to avoid some of the scarier low percent bosses, you get to have shuffled big keys.
Yeah, all of your big keys are going to be wild and crazy and everywhere, except GT. The big key to GT is still going to be in GT. So if you're a fan of the game, hang around for an hour or so, and you might be able to guess 1 to 22 later on. But for now, let's talk about this matchup. Clearly, the two teams that did not make it to conference finals, to Open League finals, these are the two teams that just barely missed. But, you know, we said, we're all friends here. Let's have a tilt anyway, right?
That's right. I believe both the Oops All Foxes group and the Last Locationeers group are pretty good friends as well, so...
Yeah, I'd say we are. So for Adilor, this is the first time he's been in a Game 4 situation where he had to pick a mode. Well, no, I mean...
I think... Anyways, we have two separate starts here. We have the Link's House start, promptly followed by running into Europa, and then a more traditional inverted North Dark World start.
Yeah, what Mike's going to do is what you usually see players do in inverted. You're going to go ahead and pop into Skullwoods, grab some of the respawning bomb drops by the big chest drop down. Adilor sees that Ropas are going to give us magic today, not exactly something that's of a lot of help in this early game. What Adilor wants to do is figure out if he can get into Hype Cave early on, and that Tier 1 tree pull is not going to do it.
No, it is not.
Yes, Mike is feeling like picking up the middle item first here. Ooh, watch out for those Gibdos. At 3 hearts green mail, the Dark World is a very dangerous place, which is why we're glad to have that Assured Sword to start out with.
Yes. Have you ever tried to do this room with 3 hearts green mail and no sword?
Yeah, it didn't go very well.
Yep. The one time I managed to get through it, the Gibdo decided to camp out in front of the door on the next screen.
Well, we have a look at Bumper Ledge if we hadn't already. We see that it's bombs, so we're not going to be needing to pick that item up for later unless, you know, for some reason you're just physically incapable of obtaining bombs in the Light World.
That would take a Light World access, and a mirror, and a cape.
It sure would, which is why, looking at it now, it could be quite the tease if it's something you feel like you might need later. We're also seeing that Skullwoods here is a crystal, as noted by the C in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. So, regardless of whether or not we find anything nice in here to begin with, we'll probably be coming back. That would be nice. However, in inverted, the flute needs to be activated in the Light World.
It does. And unfortunately, we're not in the Light World.
I would say not. So we have a nice little quick travel for the Dark World. That does put the Mire Shed into play early on as soon as we have Light World access too.
Now, inverted can do some really silly things, logically.
You mean like put Moth into logic on 4 hearts green mail?
I was thinking more along the lines of putting, say, your Moon Pearl in Misery Mire.
That would be silly indeed. That requires a mirror, though, and Light World access.
It requires a mirror and AGA access.
As I say, typically through climbing up Castle Tower. Now, Mike didn't pick up any bombs, and so far neither has Adilor. They're just going to go around and make all these cursory checks. That would be a hammer.
We like hammers.
We do like hammer. I don't like hammer in inverted, though. I don't like the logical implications of that hammer.
You're just thinking about your seed last night.
Well, I mean, was I wrong, though?
No.
Was I wrong, though? Especially
No.
since our runners don't exactly have money right now, either. They can't even play the arrow game if they wanted to with these paltry sums that we see on the screen.
Ooh. Gibdos are not giving Adilor a good time.
Right, Thieves Town, let's see a Moon Pearl and a glove. Let's go.
Is it just me, or is StructuralMike on 0 HP?
Yeah, Mike seems to have no hearts.
I think he might have got 0 HP glitch.
You're serious. You've got to be kidding.
How do we explain this? I don't know how this works.
Hold on. I'll come up with something.
I guess, you know what they say, statistics really are heartless. That shovel is a nice find, actually.
I'm not even sure where to start with that 0 HP thing. Anyway,
We're going to ignore it. We'll hope somebody in chat can explain it to us.
that seems about right. All right, Addy is going to pick up some bombs. I feel like he's probably thinking about Hype Cave, as right now that is the most dense spot of items that we have. Only the shovel and the hammer so far out of Village of Outcasts. Now, Mike is going to try at this 50-50 for a bomb, and there's one. There we go. Okay.
I'm worried about this chess game we can't afford.
Yeah, I'd be slightly concerned about it too. And chess game and dig game both are not on the table for our runners at this point. And getting money in inverted is easy if you can get started, but sitting at single-digit rupees, that can be kind of hard if you don't know where to pick up your coin.
And it's not the tier 1 tree pull.
Yeah, evidently tier 1 is straight vanilla, and as a result, hot garbage.
Maybe Hype Cave has some money for us.
Well, Hype Cave has half magic, and a big key to Dark Palace. Oh, jeez.
Gee, I wonder where the game wants us to go.
Clearly the pyramid.
Adilor.
Addy, please. Addy.
Addy.
Addy realizing at the moment that he walks into chess game, yeah, screw you, I ain't got any money.
Okay, so Mike is going to show us what's over here in Eastern Dark World.
Now, the only overworld check we can make over here right now is going to be this pyramid ledge, which, again, could be something that just opens something up. You could get yourself a glove, would be kind of nice here, to go straight to catfish from here. Find some money, get a bow. How about a vanilla piece of heart? All right, well, I suppose that means
Stumpy.
we've seen Stumpy, haven't we?
No.
We haven't seen either runner go to Stumpy yet? What?
Neither runner has visited our tree friend.
Okay.
Also, shoutouts to every enemy doing way too much damage in the Dark World.
Yeah, pretty much 2 heart minimum for most things here.
I think these guards are the exception. I think melee contact with them is a 1 heart.
Similar to the Moblin Spears will also only do 1 heart. Oh my god, we can play arrow game!
It's about time. Alright, Mike, show us how it's done.
Now, is he going to go for the 99 strat, or is he just going to do the typical stand by the guy and shoot at the curtain strat?
One of them is safer, one of them looks cooler. I think early on you go for the safer.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and just take his money. Absolutely the right call here. Addie's going to dig for money with that shovel.
You wouldn't want to miss your 99 and have to go dig up money for more of this.
So Addie's going to keep on digging here all the way to Stumpy. And Mike says, that's plenty. That's enough for me to pay dig gain. That's enough for me to buy into pod.
So, what are you hoping to find right now if you're in these runners' shoes?
I
mean, for Adilor, the shoes we want to fill our money.
The last thing I want to see right now is probably the fire rod.
What are your thoughts on Thieves Town Big Key?
Low percent blind, but also scripted blind, sure.
I'm more worried about every single Zizek in there doing, 2 hearts of damage.
Well, the answer's not in dig game.
So, chess game or pod?
Well, it looks like Mike has made his decision. He's going directly to pod. And you have to feel like the game is going to give you a glove and a moon pearl in quick succession. If it's going to do that anywhere, it's probably going to be pod.
You know where it would hurt for progression to be? It would really hurt for chess game right now to have a bow.
Oof. If he makes this play all the way over to Palace of Darkness and gets a compass out of the shooter chest, does Mike know how to mimic clip?
I don't know personally. If he does, it makes perfect sense for his pod play.
I know one person on our team tonight who might actually know, and that would be our tracker today, 2C. Since Mike and 2C have been playing a lot on the side, along with Zen. You say you'd be shocked if he doesn't know how to mimic clip, but wouldn't you be surprised that I don't know how to mimic clip?
I wouldn't be surprised because
wouldn't you know?
Either.
It's pendant pod. It's pendant pod. Thanks, game.
Living up to the meme. Let's see what our progression is.
Oh, it's not even bow locked.
Not yet, bow locked.
All right, Adilor is going to pick his whole lot of not much. Half magic is pretty nice. But otherwise, not getting a lot of love out of the checks here in Hype Cave today.
I mean, you get one whole heart of love in the Hype Cave.
Okay, straight not bow locked. Okay.
No, it's still bow locked until you get the third key somewhere. Because if both of these checks here are items, we can't progress into the back.
Yeah, both of these checks are items. We're probably not worried about going to the back. And there's your third key. So we are straight not bow locked.
Now we can say we are not bow locked.
Oh,
actually,
no.
now we can say we're not bow locked for certain.
There's 4 keys in the 4 chests on the left side of pod. We might have the 6 key front for all we know. We just won't be able to tell until we get a bow or come back later or not care because it's pendant or,
Or get no keys in the back of the dungeon.
Yeah, that is a thing that can happen as well. Of course, if you have the 6 key front, then the big key is in its position in Harmless Hellway.
We have the big key.
All right. This is in Verosia. I'll probably make that mistake about 3 more times.
Probably.
Alright, oh my god, it's a bow! Why is that?
Why is the bow in the back of Pendant Pod?
I'm gonna cry if a fire rod is in here. Or a lamp. Well,
what about the boots?
You never cry about those. Boots are really nice to have here.
It's a 5-key front.
Yeah. I mean, whether or not this is a key,
It's a 6-key front.
All right, so Mike is going to have to do a hammer yump to get the items in Dark Maze.
Also, nice lamp.
The lamp is in pot. Unfortunately, Mike did take a fall off of the crumbling bridge on the way to the big chest for hammer yump, so he's going to have to reset the super tile because the timer don't reset.
Mike has one chance to hit this, and it's not going to be a pleasant Dark Maze.
Which is why he's got it. Yeah, now he's an Oko, and he needs to not get touched by anything.
Oh, right, we have a lamp. We don't have to blindly feel our way around.
You can still end up walking right into a shot. There's a Swamp Palace big. We're not worried about that just yet.
At least we have it before we go into Swamp Palace.
Mike? Oh, he's gonna go fight Helma.
He wanted his fireball. I mean, the game just gave us everything to get to Helmasaur.
And because this is Ambrosia, all bosses have a non-dungeon item. So Helma's not going to be hanging on to a map or a compass, small or a big key. He's got to have something. And this could be your glove for all we know.
Plus, we don't know which color pendant this is either.
Yeah, right now all we know is that it is a pendant. If this is green pendant, then it might be necessary for later.
For all we know, if this is green pendant, Saha could have the moon pearl.
To answer the question in chat, no, this is 2 keys. This is 2 keys. We've already seen both dungeon items, and there are 2 locked doors remaining in the dungeon that we have not spent a key on. So this has to be a 6-key front. And Mike checking his dungeon items to confirm, yes, Helma has the last item.
I cannot believe we got the 6-key front.
It only took inverted for us to get it. And Adilor picks up his bow. Now he's going to go into Rupee Basement, and he'll find his boots, which he'll be very happy to see, I'm sure. Mike, please be careful. Mike,
that wasn't careful.
Mike, I said be careful, not be reckless. I most certainly didn't say be dead. I mean... Adilor, you have a hammer. Adilor
Can't do the hammer jump now.
No, he cannot. He has to... Oh, well... That was Swamp Big in Dark Maze? Was there anything else in Dark Maze?
Not specifically.
Alright, so... Yeah, Addy is now basically... He's thinking. He's in...
He wants that heart off the bottom platform, but you might notice...
Yeah, that's not going to happen. You could throw a bomb. The bomb not only knocks them away, it actually stuns hard hat beetles.
If you had backed up into the jump with your sword.
Let's see if Addy remembers that this has to be a 6-key front. Just based on where the items were placed. Well, I'll say one thing, Addy does not remember that he has the boots.
To be fair, we just got the boots.
Listen, Fox friend. You have the boots. You can knock those doors down without using bombs. Okay, good. He does remember that he has boots.
This is a very low percent Helma.
Yeah, you're basically going to go in on 2-hit KO. Every one of Helma's attacks does 2 hearts of damage to green mail.
It's actually lower percent than I usually do, so... And it's kind of scary. And this music is completely fitting for it.
And setting up for spin speed to make the hammer hitbox a little more palatable, we are down to just shooting some arrows into the crystal on Helmasaur's forehead here. Very nice patterns. Oh gosh, Mike is out of arrows. Oh, this just got out of hand fast. I think he's fine.
The fact that Helma's not spit any
in
fireballs was helping him.
You were helping him and I was cursing him at the same time. So, in a little oscillation pattern here, we have Adilor technically in the lead, just by virtue of being deeper into pod. Mike is going to have to find some arrows to get this kill room.
Luckily, there are arrows in this. I believe there's an arrow pot in here.
Ouch.
These hard hat beetles are out for blood.
Yeah, there are 2 pots with arrows in the kill room themselves, and you can actually chuck the 2 green mimics a pot to kill them as well. All right, now it's Adilor's turn to have a dance with Helmasaur.
Going with the sword extended safety strats.
And Adilor has a nearly full quiver, so he's... Seriously? Mike! There we go. That one doesn't drop into the void. And Addy, so far, with a really, really well-executed fight of Helmasaur, takes care of it without getting knocked. Let's see what Helmasaur King has for us. Oh, the glove.
So, that is Aghanim access.
It sure is.
Because for those who haven't played Inverted before, you know that tower on top of Death Mountain that in the light world, that in a normal game is the Ganon's tower entrance? What's there in the Inverted, Zaru?
Oh, that would only be one castle tower. And you don't need 2 swords or a cape to get in there. There's no beam.
That's right. And by order of association, what's in a castle tower in Inverted? That's right, Turtle Rock.
I didn't know we were playing Dungeon Shuffle.
No, Ganon's tower is there in the Inverted.
Ganon himself is also there in Inverted. There is a hole that opens up on the top of the castle wall, which is really nice if you end up killing Aghanim, because you can, save and quit or respawn if you die at Ganon right there at the hole. All right, round 2 for StructuralMike versus Helmasaur King.
Gets the cheeky hammer hit.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say that exact word.
I mean, what else are you going to call that hammer hit?
He was trying to be careful to... trying to set him up for... he's just going to spin him now. Oh, that was probably a really good decision.
Very close, but StructuralMike brings down Helmasaur. And Murderbedactyl 7 takes out Adilor.
Oh, this has been brutal so far.
that Murderbedactyl right outside of Bumper Cave is the worst one in the game.
Addy runs right into a Hinox bomb, and then almost runs right into the Snapdragon.
Okay, running into the Hinox bomb is better than running into the Hinox.
Yes, if you body a Hinox, you're pretty much...
Don't worry, Mike also decided the Hinox bomb looks comfy and warm.
I mean, oh my goodness.
And this is why we love Inverted.
This is so off the rails, man.
And Mike does not want those arrows. I think he's feeling a little behind after the helmet death.
Neither player wants to go check chest game. What if that's your Moon Pearl? What if that's your Moon Pearl? You have natural light world access.
If that's the Moon Pearl in this situation, you and I laugh. That's what.
Let's be real. Moon Pearl is probably in Spectacle Rock.
I've still got my hopes held out for Aga-required Light World Moon Pearl.
Moon Pearl on Bottle Vendor?
I've played that seed recently. I think my personal favorite was... What was my personal favorite? Well, for one, Moon Pearl in the Laser Bridge was pretty good.
That's solid. All right. What? Does this actually speed you up?
I don't know.
Oh, it definitely does on the stairs, I'll say that. Because you're treated as though you were carrying something.
Well, that's a good time save there. That's just good game knowledge featuring StructuralMike. And that is a phenomenal bunny sprite, and those are that's our other two pendants and a crystal. Green pendant desert and blue pendant eastern.
It does also tell us that both 5/6 crystals are in the Dark World. Ether. Yeah, you walk in there and you take your heal, my friend.
So what are your thoughts on the possibility of a Turtle Rock or Mire play to get your Moon Pearl? With that ether off of the old man.
Let's say I think Turtle Rock is a little premature right now.
Oh, I think so too, but we have some checks still that could give us a cane.
I'm busy looking at the Fox on Adilor's screen. Mike wants to peek at this item instead of just going right for it. And there's nothing up here. Not in the Light World, anyway.
Now we get to play everyone's favorite game. Climb the mountain again.
Oh. Is that what we're playing?
We have two options when we get to the top of the mountain. Because there's a nicely placed little stairway up here by the now transplanted into the Dark World portal.
I'm not sure if that fairy is going to be a lot of help, but nonetheless, Mike is at full HP again. Oh, that's smart. I like that. Did you know you could deboost yourself with bombs to never have to play Dodge the Lionel? It's cheating, but, you know.
I did know that. That's how I play Dodge the Lionel.
Oh, I just literally dodge the Lionels.
Don't worry, right. Adilor doesn't.
The bonkable chest in Hookshot Cave not paying out anything today. Well, no, it paid out. It paid out $20. Now you get a cane in Super Bunny. Is this Ether? It's Quake. Shoutouts to Vanilla Medallion requirements.
Adilor versus Lionel. Take two.
Oh. I had a ricocheting pink puffball there. There's your Moon Pearl in Super Bunny. We have Light World access. And this is where the seed gets a little more interesting.
The amount of route divergence... Ooh.
Did he... Oh, wait.
I think he frame ruled a fireball and ran into the Lionel.
He frame ruled the fireball and bodied the Lionel. That sucks, man. Because I'm pretty sure the fireball only does 2 hearts of damage.
It does only do 2 hearts of damage. That's my other strategy I used to get through the Lionel Bridge. And Mike has opted to start in the South Shore region of the Light World.
There's a lot of different types of routes you can take going through Light World once you get access, just because there's just so many checks that you're suddenly able to make. It's like a whole new game, except that you're in the Light World later. Oh, Addy gets through, so now he's going to pick up his Moon Pearl.
And Mike's going to get run over by some mini Moldworms. Even the Light World's being vicious to these runners.
We haven't even been in the Light World for all of, what, 2 minutes yet? I'd say calm down, Zeke. Calm down.
I mean, the mini Moldworms have him down to 1 heart.
and just casually unearth a bush guard.
Have you ever wondered how those guards do things like that?
But just hide in tall grass. It's not like they're wild Pokemon or anything.
True.
Adilor, where are you going?
Checking medallion.
Okay, he saved that for last. That makes sense. Let's see if Adilor wants to do the Kakariko route that I like to do. Yep.
So, our viewers might have noticed that we can't do much on the Light Death Mountain because we have no way to get to the profitable side of the mountain. How do you get to Hera in Inverted?
Oh, you need either mitts or a hook shot.
Adilor wants chess game.
There it is. Chess game is absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Mike has found something shiny.
Those would have been nice for Helmasaur.
Those have been nice in general. Just, not have to worry about your arrow count because one arrow kills everything.
So long as that everything is not the main Vitreous Eyeball, a Pokey, or Ganon himself. Was that... That looked like a lot like a red cane to me.
Well, I would imagine that's why Mike is going right for it. Yeah, if you hold your sword out and bump this guard, he can't do anything to you. Or the guard, the mugger. Adilor was like, oh, money! Wait, no, I don't need that. I mean, it might be nice to have a little extra money, but as we know, there are 300 rupees waiting in Mini Moldorm Cave for him later, so meh. The forest is full of money. I didn't know we were growing money trees in Hyrule.
And I was correct. That was a red cane.
Luckily, right now, that red cane it's nice to have, but it doesn't actually mean anything just yet. We do know it's required to finish.
You mean since there are 6 crystals in Dark World and we have the only pendant? And that is a book. We don't like those.
Something we want to see.
Alright, so let's see if we actually have to go fight the wizard. That's a boomerang. We absolutely need that, right?
Yeah, that's one of the few items that can actually do damage to Ganon, so yeah, we need that.
One day someone's going to believe us when we make these jokes.
I sure hope not. Alright, so far Addy is saying, heck no, we won't go to Kakariko Village until he's gotten all these surrounding checks, which so far haven't paid out anything.
Meanwhile, the Kakariko Village has paid out some.
I think it's kind of awkward for us to not go to Graveyard Ledge and the Back of Escape here. But, he's probably feeling like this is still more checks, so we should probably do this first.
That would have been nice for Helmasaur.
Where was that in the Dark World? Come on, man. Oh, no.
Kane suddenly does things.
Game, don't you do it. That's nice to have, too. My arrow!
We absolutely needed that, too. There's a fire rose. These 5-check caves are being good today, aren't they?
I didn't know Blind built his house in a cave.
Ask any Cross Keys player, it ends up in a cave all the time. They casually high-five on their way past, because sportsmanship.
Adilor's going to pick up his bonus sword and one-way ticket into Turtle Rock.
Kane actually could have done something when we picked up before the mention of Turtle Rock's medallion. We have a flute, and it could have been an ether.
Yeah, we are very much able to go into and clear Mire right now.
Do you want to clear Mire on this equipment?
Blue 6 with silvers? Sure, why not?
Oh yeah, we have silvers.
Still need big keys, says our tracker. That is true. That
Right.
is very true.
Key shuffle. Commentary forgets big key shuffle twice.
Mike wants some information. Mike says, well, where was that in pod?
Is that just their new joke now?
Where was this joke the rest of the season? You know I'm just doing it on purpose now, right?
Of course. I mean, I know you. You're doing it on purpose just to spite me.
Addie's going to pick up his book in just a moment. He's also going to see that there is a boomerang sitting up here and be like, well, what do I need that for? You know, if I'm Adilor, I am going directly into the desert region right now.
I'm clearing everything along the way, but yes.
I mean, well, yeah, they're on the critical path. You still pick up your red cane here. I wonder if he's going to blind play it. Nope.
Nope. He's going to turn around and go back and pick up the cane.
Now, there's one check over here we just plain can't touch right now, and that is King's Tomb, because the fact that we would mirror from Light World to Dark World means that check is hard locked by myths.
It is the only check hard locked by myths.
Which means when you have the ability to do basically everything else, the last thing you really want to see is a pair of myths. Ten arrows. Gee, game, you shouldn't have. Alright, so this is going to probably set up for Mike to save and quit out of the back of Escape instead of worrying about just going back around through the front and going wherever from there. Silvers were in K45. Adilor is about to pick those up in just a moment.
We hope.
I sure hope so. If not, I'm calling a team meeting post-season.
How many of those have been called this season?
How many of those have we actually had?
Adilor?
Adilor, I am very cross with you, sir. He's going to get his silvers and go, where were they? I full cleared everything. Okay, he did remember. Thank you, Adilor. Thank you, past Adilor.
Yeah, thank you, past Adilor, for picking up the silvers.
Mike gets the key in the back of Escape. Did we also see the map?
We did. There are 3 items in front of Hyrule Castle.
And there means there's also an item sitting in Dark Cross. All right, directly to the desert area, I am assuming. Nope, we're going to do South Shore.
You're on the screen. You're on the screen. You have to do Floodgate while you're on it.
No, you don't. You can wait to do Floodgate forever. Those are flippers in Dark Cross.
Those are, in fact, flippers in Dark Cross. Those are kind of useful.
You can literally wait to do Floodgate until you're going to Swamp.
Yes, but what if your mirror was in Floodgate?
Well, we can't go into Mire anyway because it's Bombos.
We have 2 medallions, and neither one of us the correct medallion.
Hey, 2 out of 3 chance doesn't always win. And instead of fluting literally anywhere else, Mike decided he wanted to save and quit. You could have... I guess this is slightly faster. Oh, he remembered chess game. Okay.
Where do you go from here?
I'm telling you, man. There's 2 checks outside of the desert area. There's Bombos on the way. The book is telling you something.
You go to... Skullwoods actually is the answer here.
You go to... Oh, there's your map check. We did see a 5-6 crystal on TR, and I missed where the other one was.
So did I.
Tracker is saying it is in Swamp Palace. Thank you, Tusi. There's a reason I'm wearing glasses.
Shout out to Tusi, our tracker today. And also a shout out to Kono Tyrant, our restreamer today.
And also a shout out to the league for letting us put this on. Even though the Open League playoffs are officially over, we're still playing because we can. Adilor wants a piece of this water walk.
Only a piece, not the entire water walk.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to take you literally and actually go to Skull Woods, but he has. There's Bombos. Adilor is thinking about that Bombos right now.
At the very least, you have to water walk up to Hobo at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to both grab Bombos and go to Zora, so...
Is there nowhere we can do a splash delete off of the island?
It's kind of hard to do, since there's nowhere for the arrows to land. Unless you notice that I do the cane version, which I do not.
This boss theme kills me. This moth is not polite.
No, it is not. And Mike is showing it what for with that half magic fire rod in tow. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, he got him.
I believe there's still an item in the bridge chest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw all 3 keys in the front. We didn't get anything out of Skullwoods when we did the front, so there has to be an item.
We got the flute, but there's 3 items, because... Oh, it could be the other dungeon item, and there's an item in big chest, too.
Yeah, oh, would you just imagine having to come back because the big chest happens to have an item?
Yes, I can imagine that.
What do we got sitting up on Zora's Ledge? It is $50. We will not be picking that up. If Adilor wants, he can save this water walk if he doesn't like the item that Zora gives him. Nice mirror. Oh. Nice mirror. He wants this big key, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're thinking about Hookless Swamp right now, aren't you?
I hope Mike's not thinking about Hookless Swamp.
I mean, it exists.
I imagine both players are going to take a shot at the desert here. No, Mike is going into Hookless Swamp. And Adilor's going to the castle. Okay.
You really want there to be something in that desert right now, don't you?
I am expecting a required big key to be at that desert. And if I'm right, you're buying me a soda.
Sure.
There's an A&W around the corner.
Well, here's Hookless Swamp. Let's see what's here. We did get that swamp big key in pod. There's an ice rod.
There's the ice rod. With the big key, we can kill Trinex. Oh, no. Adilor can do TR from the front with a big key, because he knows where that Bombos medallion is. Mike can actually go get it, but Addy can set up a water walk or a fake flipper to go get it too.
Not guaranteed to be able to do it from the front. Inverted can put more than one key on Laser Bridge.
That's true. So Addy might have to go back to Skull Woods and get his mirror to be able to do Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, we know where the access to Meyer is, and that's another crystal that we'll need to do. But again, no big key for that one either. Wait, I lied. Addy does have the big key on Meyer. It's on Zora. Zeke and Ruby forget that we're playing Key Sanity and where the keys are. Part 3.
It's hard to remember Key Sanity when we only have a quarter of the Key Sanity. Our first bottle. I sincerely hope that's not the logical progression in Swamp Palace.
If that bottle specifically leads to Double Dip Swamp, I will be very cross with this game. And the one thing that Ambrosia does is it does increase the likelihood of a dungeon item on left side. Because even though you have big keys taken out, you do also have to worry about,
the guaranteed
item on the boss.
I was expecting that heart piece to refill Adilor.
That's cursed, my friend.
Is it wrong to expect that every time you get one in Zelda Cell?
Could be like me the other night and get it twice.
At least the second one was, I believe, the back of Eastern. Where at least it's a 1 heart fixed damage instead of a half heart fixed damage.
No, chat, front of escape is not a dud. It's an inside of a castle. That was way too matter of fact. All right, setting up that switch flip here. Mike is gonna go tell us what is on the left side of Swamp.
One item at a time.
Why isn't it the hook shot?
One item at a time, because we don't have a hook shot to cross to the other side.
As flippers are interesting, because now Adilor knows he can go into Mire.
Not yet. Well, yeah, he knows he can go into Mire. The question is, does he want to?
My money's on no. I mean, at that point, it is a full clearable Mire, and it's a crystal, and you'll need to do it anyway, so why not? I mean, you've got 8 hearts blue. That's pretty healthy. Oh,
unfortunately, checking the medallion first.
Yeah, he was probably feeling, 2 out of 3, same thing. Flippers relate to Mire because Bombos is sitting on the Hylia Island.
Meanwhile, our first check in left side swamp was not much. I think it was money, but I was more paying attention to Adilor, but I did not see a major item.
And this is probably a map. Oh no, it's another heart. Wow, we have a God Swamp. If only we had waited till we had the hook shot first. Because while you end up with items on the left side, they're nothing you actually want. So if you never go to it, then you're fine. Mike is making the play I've been asking us to do this whole time.
I mean, there's a handful of items over here. We can full clear Green Pendant Desert.
And Addy wants this Bombos medallion. Zeke and Ruby forget that we don't have big keys to dungeons. Episode 4. We don't have the desert big, so we can't full clear desert yet.
One day, Ruby. I will remember.
So now we're pulling out the flute. I'm imagining this is going to be absolutely straight to Mire for Adilor. This is one advantage he currently has. Because Mike has not made his flipper checks just yet. I scratched that. He's made a flipper check. He's done the front of Swamp without a hook shot. And it's bombs on the ledge. Okay.
So there are 2 items here. One of which could be in the big chest. I say there's only 2 items because the third one's on Lambo.
There are 2 items on Lambo. One's on the Green Pendant Turnip. And we haven't seen our runners go to Sahasrarla's closet yet either, so that could definitely weigh in if we have a French vanilla big key here.
Instant karma.
Oh, it's such a bad vibe, man. The hook shot has been blocked by the book this entire time, and I've been saying, hey, why don't we go to desert? Why the heck aren't we in desert? And, well, there it is. Progression in a pendant dungeon once again.
So what's an Eastern?
I don't know. Turtle Rock Big Key?
We're just big keys away.
Yeah, we are an item go. Well, item no. Neither runner has enough items to finish the game, but we do know where all of the items are to finish the game. We just need to find the keys. Mike? Oh, he's going to go out the right side door. I kind of... Oh, he's going to mirror back for... Where are you going? Probably up the mountain? No? Mike, this is not faster. Okay. Meanwhile, Adilor doing left side mire.
I mean, we have all the ways.
Oh, he's going directly back to swamp. Okay.
He just got the hook shot. Can you blame him?
I'll blame him all day.
Currently, the biggest advantage Mike has is he has a mirror, and it's not at a good spot.
No, it might be some time before Adilor actually chases that mirror, especially if he goes to desert coming out of basically anywhere, because he still has to get that hook shot to finish swamp. But he's not going to be able to do anything in swamp until he finds the mirror. Mirror is in the back of Skullwoods in the bridge chest, which Moth is a crystal, but it's not a crystal you're at all really pressed to go do right now.
I'd have him in the back of my mind just because I know there's 2 items back there, but it's also a slow 2 items to go get.
Low HP for Mike is singing to y'all the song of my people if I'm playing cross keys, because I like to pinball off of every enemy.
It sounds like a slowed down version of my NMG runs. I pinball off of every enemy.
Yes, but you don't die to key rat anymore.
No, I don't. I died to ball and chain last night instead.
Ooh, that's considerably worse. Mike setting up this diver down, having a little bit of issue with it, but then gets it. Piece of heart. And our second bottle. 2 bottles in Swamp Palace. How do you feel about that?
There's always a bottle in Swamp Palace. Isn't that how the meme goes?
Yeah, yeah, but 2?
And Mike properly counting that there's a compass in that waterfall chest.
Yep, he knows he can just go straight to fighting Argus. Gonna put an eye out, guys. Got something shiny to do that with.
Meanwhile, Adler's gonna go put a lot of eyes out.
No, he's gonna make Vitreous go blind, and not in the way that blind goes blind. I'm intrigued by this strat. When you have other options, why this strat?
I mean, without the boomerang, it's a quick swap, but...
Yes. Is this faster than spins? I think it might be.
If you're super consistent, maybe.
That was pretty consistent. Nice shot. All right, that is Swamp Palace full cleared for StructuralMike, and just $20 for his trouble. Adilor! Y'all pick on me for missing with my arrows. Calm now.
Yeah, that just happened.
All right, Mike is now going to do his flipper checks. So he'll get his Meyer big key and his key to the front door. Meanwhile, Adilor is going to go put out a bunch of eyes with these silver arrows. That is 9 eyeballs surrounding Vitreous and 1 big eyeball on the back.
They warned us. You'll shoot your eye out.
It's a lot of eyes to be putting out here. What does Vidi have for us today? It's just bombs.
And a crystal.
Yeah, Chad is asking where the ice rod was. Uncle has it stashed away in the secret passage, not on himself, but in the chest.
That could actually take Mike a bit to get back to as he just gets more and more dungeon clear capability.
Yeah, because if you follow the ABCD, the last thing you're thinking about is Hyrule Castle.
Meanwhile, you know me, I'm always thinking about Harrow Castle.
Adilor going back to the light world south of Link's house. Could this be desert for him now?
Looks like it to me.
All right, so Addy's going to be happy to have a hook shot. Well, I'd be worried that might push him over to Hera.
At what point do you figure to go back to the early sphere? Skullwoods.
That's why I'm worried about this hookshot for Adilor. The more items you open up, the less enticing it is to go back to an earlier sphere if you only have 1 or 2 items in that area. And you know the boss has 1, so are you really going to bank on the item not being in the Skullwoods big chest? You might wait for a while before you do that. You might go try Turtle Rock before you do that, but you need that mirror to do Turtle Rock at this point.
You either need the mirror... Apologies. You either need the mirror, or you need to be lucky and get a close to vanilla key layout. Now here's a check that is extremely isolated for Adilor.
You know, once bitten, twice shy says go to Catfish. And then Catfish says, I never have anything. I like Adilor's playthrough Desert a little better than I like Mike's. He went and did Aegina's Cave and Checkerboard first before coming in. Where Adilor not having a mirror is going to have to save and quit anyway, so he can do Aegina's Cave last.
Which means you can save and quit out of the back of Aegina's Cave and not have to worry about it.
Chad is saying, you can always die to get back to the entrance of a dungeon, right? So the mirror wouldn't be hard required for a dungeon unless it's Swamp Palace. Because you still need the mirror to get back to Swamp Palace in the Dark World.
It could also... you could also need the mirror to, say, get into the back of Turtle Rock to get keys.
Yeah, because Inverted kind of says... Well, I don't care. I'm going to put the keys where I want in Turtle Rock. Adilor pulling out no flute. Now he goes to the flute. Where are you going, Addy?
Mountain.
No, he wants a piece of Ice Palace. I actually like this.
I'm okay with that. This is a pretty good play.
You have the cane, so it's pretty free. You have half magic fire rod, you have Bombos, and you've got a potion in hand at least. No, he doesn't have any potions.
Yeah, our bottles are currently mirror locked.
Yeah, just a little bit. Meanwhile, Mike is taken to Misery Mire, which we know doesn't have anything. You know, except, a required crystal. A, B, C, D, everybody. For accidentally double bombing, that was actually surprisingly effective for Adilor.
It was.
Now, being in ice without the big key, we do have to go and flip the switch.
We do. I mean, the big key could just be vanilla.
Don't say that. It'll actually show up.
It'd be funny.
If this is a big key, I'm hissing. Okay, it's a map. Alrighty. Well, so far, 3 items at large and ice and 1 on the boss, and we have seen nothing. But here's where the meat and potatoes are of this dungeon. By, finding the other key. Thanks, game.
If we find the compass, we're in bad shape.
Yeah, compass means everything, and the bottom has an item, and that means the big chest, which we don't have the big key for. I would hate to have to double dip ice in this mode. Alright, everybody, as we approach the 1 hour mark in this Game 4 in Roja, chosen by Adilor, and StructuralMike, his opponent, please give these 2 runners a follow and your love and support as this league season comes to a drawing close here. Little bronze match fun times. These 2 teams, good friends, so we agreed to do a series. And so far, the Foxes have had the better of Last Location Heroes by 2 games. Of course, I'm the one loser on our team, so we'll see if I get a shot at redemption or not.
So, Adler just got lucky.
I sure did.
Not yet, actually.
He still has to check Freezor. That is not a good spot for the bomb, Eddie. There you go. And if the item's here and not in the big chest, he's going to full clear ice without the big key. And he does. And get some spooky action from StructuralMike. Also a shout out to Zeke bantering with me this morning. This morning, it's not morning anymore, but it was morning for me. And 2C for being our tracker today. And that spooky's so clean.
I didn't hear a click.
It was so crisp and well timed that you didn't get a chance to hear the click. It had flipped to red as he hit the stairwell.
And once again, we have 2 eyeball bosses on screen.
All right, crystal number 4 for... Oh.
4 for 3 for Mike and 2 for Adilor. Is it just me, or are we just a Thieves Town big and a TR big from full no mode? And here's the Ice Palace play for StructuralMike. And I think we're about to have a good thing, because here is a Skullwoods play for Adilor. And again, we have to flip the crystal switch in ice to progress because we don't have a big key, which luckily doesn't hurt us in this seed, as we know that there is a compass in the big chest. So we saw a good moth fight from StructuralMike earlier. Let's see how Adilor's looks. And down goes Mothula for Adilor. Ooh, Mike misses the bomb jump over. And he knows there is a second item in here in addition to Cold Stare, so he might choose to go back up and around. He is. Meanwhile, Adilor will be getting the mirror out of Skullwoods. Yeah, Tutor, Mike might have a small problem getting to that Ice Rod because it is very much alone right now. Because honestly, at this point, one of your big considerations is I have full mountain access. I should go clear the crystal up there I can, and hopefully find an Ice Rod up there with a Turtle Rock Big Key. And Adilor finds that mirror and goes directly for that Swamp Palace play. And we'll be able to clear it faster than Mike did because he did start off with a hook shot going in. And down goes Cold Stare for StructuralMike. And let's see where Mike goes from here. And welcome back.
I'm glad I'm not the one playing. Just putting that out there.
And as we were to say, as we predicted between you and chat and me here in the voice, Mike is going for the mountain now.
Yeah, and the mountain, of course, now that we have the hookshot, we can get the other 3 checks of Hookshot Cave. You can touch most of Turtle Rock. You can do Mimic Cave. You can do Hera. You can do Paradox Cave. There's a ton of items in here. Hey, shut up my backup stream. This is why I'm glad to have a phone. All right. So we are going to see probably Paradox first before anything else. And he might just go straight to Hera from here.
It makes sense. Hera is a clearable crystal we don't have a big key for. And the Fire Rod is a very good way of bringing down walls. You saw the explosion it caused.
You have to shoot the Fire Rod first, just to kind of get the wall hot, and then it just crumbles apart when you throw a bomb at it. That's how that works, right? All right, thank you, Adilor, for doing left side swamp first and not having to come back in for it. This is faster than, diving it twice. Big key to Skull Woods, we know that doesn't have anything for us.
The sword's nice.
Sword is very nice.
And I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of the red boomerang.
I am a huge fan of the red boomerang. It is my favorite boomerang. Chat is calling for something to be an Eastern or Smiths. We haven't seen Mitts yet, but we can absolutely grab the Smith, mirror back, hit Peg Cave, grab the purple chest, take portal back.
Hey, it's a little different. Rather than us forgetting the Kisani part, we forgot about the inverted part this time.
No, I didn't forget. What are you talking about?
And as we said, we are definitely getting a check of the Hera and the Ether Medallion.
Not necessarily in that order. As we see, he's going straight for the tablet, and the tablet says, I love you. Just a little, though.
Left Side Swamp loves Adilor more than the Ether Tablet loved Mike. I don't think that was the intended way to throw that boomerang for Mike, but he made it work.
All right, we do have a few items in here. That's one. That's a magic powder. Mike is going to set up for a Hera pot with bombs here. And he gets it. I mean, if you know it, you do it, right?
Absolutely. Mike is now hoping there is nothing... Actually, yeah, Mike's now hoping not to see a small key, and he doesn't find it. This is a full clear Hera without a big key.
Which is a pretty nice way to do Hera, honestly. That, you know, you're not worried about having to come back because you found everything already. Because Hera, coming back to Hera and Inverted is, how shall I say, a chore.
I was going to go with extremely slow.
That's true too. And Moldorm says, fine, take my lunch money.
No, we just want the shiny crystal instead. That's 5 crystals for Mike.
Our restreamer in chat is asking if we've seen Sick Kid yet, and I believe the answer to that is nope.
A very large negative.
It is something that Mike can go do if he decides to turn in this powder as well. Gives him a few things to do in Kakariko, including the Smiths. Thought about doing... He's trying to figure out which one he wants to do here. Spiral Cave, or Mimic Cave. Mimic Cave going to be the first one we do. And that's one of the pains of Inverted in this mode. As we get our third bottle out of Mimic Cave. Is trying to figure out how many times you want to drop off the mountain.
Usually about 6.
I don't get this, Michael. Not one bit. You don't have the big key, sir. I would have done this from Laser Bridge. Alright, Adilor has taken down Argus, and he is now all knotted up in the crystals with StructuralMike here.
Not quite. There's still a Hera crystal.
Oh, that's right. Hera's a thing. Well, it won't be for long because that is the next port of call for an Adilor.
If TR Big Key is accessible up here, Adilor can finish both dungeons up here.
I'm sticking to my guns. I think TR Big Key's in Eastern.
I don't. I think it's in Thieves.
Then where's Thieves Big?
Sahasrar's hut.
Can you hear the face I'm making at you?
Yes.
Chat wants TR Big Key to be in Purple Chest. Ew. That's all I've got for that is just ew.
Yeah. We are an hour and 12 minutes in. Nobody has even gone to Sahasrar's hut.
Adilor's going to pick up his Tempered Sword. Mike is going to probably do Hookshot Cave before he drops and does either Spiral or Laser Bridge. Ew. Well, we know it's not useful. So far, our big keys have just been all duds.
Yeah, I think we've seen Skullwoods and Ice Palace now.
We have indeed. And if we find the Hera big key, that's not going to lead to anything either. Oh, Mike wants to open TR from the front. This is fine. You have 3 checks you can make up here and then just mirror out. He's kept his portal by Hookshot Cave so he can go ahead and do either Laser Bridge or Spiral. No mitts, so you can't climb Fairy Ascension Cave to go back to Laser Bridge, though. So he'd have to go back around the mountain a third time.
Yes.
All this divergence, and both players are on the mountain at the same time, basically doing the same checks.
It's kind of neat, isn't it?
It's interesting. There's a key to TR. That'll be nice for later.
Mike, please be careful.
Well, you say that, but Adilor can't finish TR if unless the big key is here. Because so far we don't know where the big key is. Hi, this restream crew has definitely polished up our knowledge of Ambrosia. I'm telling you, we're all on our game today. That's part of the fun, right?
Yep.
That's the second key. That's the Keen of Berna. We do have Spike Cave in logic as well here.
Do you know what that will take? Another trip up the mountain.
Indeed. And a huge shout outs to Lenifus for coming on in with a raid 14 people joining us here at the ALTTPR League. This Bronze Series match between Oops All Foxes and Last Locationeers. We're looking for some keys. This is what I wanted him to do earlier. Let's just go to Laser Bridge, find a key, find the compass, turn off your Berna for some reason. He's doing magic saving. That's what he's doing. And your fourth sword. Okay. Fine.
So, nothing on Laser Bridge. Mike, please.
So this leaves Spiral and Spike. And Mike doesn't have the magic to do Spike right now. He'd have to mirror back and go into Super Bunny or Turtle Rock Front or something.
How many keys are left in that dungeon right now?
Not going for Crystal Roller Room, by the way. There is still one key, I think. We've seen one in the front, two on Laser Bridge. So there's a chance of an... how many of the items have we seen is my other question.
That's why I'm asking.
So is Mike leaving an item in Crystal Roller, possibly?
That's what I'm worried about.
Michael! Addy gets a hook speed Harapot. Chad is now contemplating the return trip to Kakariko. I still like this idea. And that swag. You're going to save and quit? You're going to save and quit? Where are you going? Alright, this is setting up for Spike Cave, I think. He does have a green potion, so he can go ahead and just chug that if he wants. We've seen a dungeon item, though. Haven't we?
We saw the compass on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, so we know there is a dungeon item remaining. Do we see the map in the front?
That's the only thing I'm not certain of. Game!
If Addy makes that check, he can just go kill Trinex. And Mike is going to be on an Ice Rod hunt if he doesn't do Castle Front.
This looks like it actually might be a Castle Front play.
This could be Castle Front. He could be going over to Eastern. He could be going to Kakariko. He could be going crazy. Cuckoo Bananas.
I think this would be a Castle Front play, because with if you're doing Eastern, you'd flute to 5.
Yeah, he's finally going to the Castle Front, and he will be rewarded with an Ice Rod, and probably give the game a mean look, because...
and then the game would no longer be able to escape.
That's okay. Mike's using Detect, so He's anticipating his opponent's next move. His opponent being the game, the next move being the placement of the Ice Rod. Ta-da! Alright, so Mike is an item go now. And he needs one big key to finish this seed. That big key would be
Town big key.
Thieves Town big key. We do not know where that is.
Could be in the pyramid.
Adilor is not doing Spike Cave. And he is committing to not doing Spike Cave by going to the eastern area.
Oh boy. That's gonna hurt. Spike Cave is going to kill your team again.
So Chloe and I are going to have to talk with Scottish Brave and Zen about getting the Retrons game on, aren't we? I think it's too early to say that. It all depends on where this Turtle Rock, huh? Thieves Town Big Key is.
That would actually be that Adilor did not commit to Turtle Rock whatsoever.
No, he didn't. He actually, I think he's waiting on Big Key. He just wants to go-mo Turtle Rock.
I hope there's a cape here.
What, to tell him to go get the Big Key out of Spike Cave?
Yes.
I would sooner think the cape would make him think, oh, there's 3 bombs on Bumper, I don't need this. Speaking of 3 bombs... Yeah, that's why Addy didn't do Spike Cave. He, as far as he's concerned, it's not in logic because he never went into TR to get Burna.
Well, hopefully the items... There's a map. We just picked up a map, didn't we?
Yeah,
Compass? Whichever dungeon we didn't just pick up, we're hoping is in the big chest. Just so we know to skip it.
At the very least, Addy is going to be able to pair this with checking Sahasrala's little treasure trove in his closet. That's Compass. We have a fully backloaded Eastern? Come on, game. You had 1 item in the front of Eastern, and everything else except for 1 item will be locked by the Big Key.
So Trinex
is going to melt down as soon as he tastes Gold Sword. And Mike is either very good at counting items or not interested in whatever's in the last 2 checks of TR.
3 small keys. I'm going to guess there's a map. Because otherwise, Mike probably would have gone to get the crystal roller.
Oh no!
No!
No game! Not 1, but 2 bombs for the old Sage. And now Adilor's gonna double dip Eastern. Back-to-back double dips of Eastern Palace. If Trinex has this Thieves Town Big Key, then it's all over, but it's still too early to say. Yeah, 10 arrows, let's go.
Crystal number 6 for StructuralMike.
And immediately fluting, I would imagine he's going to 5. No, he's going to 4.
Red crystals, Ruby.
Oh, that's right. Turtle Rock was the other 5/6 crystal. It's not like I mentioned that about 45 minutes ago or anything.
I hate it. The Tower of Hera big key is behind this Eastern play.
I did say progression independent dungeon again. I just called the wrong mountain dungeon that the big key was for. See, normally this is where I'd be harassing our seed roller for making such a mess, but I can't very well harass one of the players on the screen who is also my teammate for rolling the seed, and that's not good news for Adilor.
That's not good.
So that placement of the cape with Berna in TR means he is never going to consider Spike Cave in logic. And Eastern is not the answer.
It's on the Smith Chain / Kakariko area.
But you have to feel like Mike is going to dig out this Eastern first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pedestal is dedestal. It has 10 arrows, which would have been very nice as we were going through Palace of Darkness for our first glove on Helmasaur, but not to be had. This is going to be Catfish first. This is actually a really nice way to have the flute in Dark World, is it makes Catfish not really terribly isolated in comparison to, open or standard, or entrance for that matter, because there's always something to do up here.
The burning questions we have right now: when will Adilor decide to do Spike Cave, if at all? And where's the Thieves' Big?
We have Sick Kid and Magic Bat. We have not Spike Cave. We have Smith Chain and Peg Cave. There's no shortage of things to be done here in Kakariko, and it looks like Addy is going to make this play. Boing. Meanwhile, Mike will also pull clear a Pendant Eastern Palace that tells you, hey, this is logically required, but not much else.
First, we're going around. We don't have to wait to pick up the rock.
Not yet, anyway. Because clearly Thieves' Big's going to be in King's Tomb, right?
No. King's Tomb is dead. Titan's Myths are vanilla.
Ew. And we're going straight to pick up the Smith. Now, if this was me, I'd bomb that chest. And he has decided he does not want to do anything with the Armos Knights here. Mike is going to flute in the Light World.
And that's just muscle memory.
Yeah, if I had $1 for every time I did that.
I'd be broke because I haven't played in Verdant forever.
Michael. Oh, look, they're Shieldsmiths today. That's cute. Mike is reminding me of me in my race against Radical Sniper. Spending a couple minutes trying to figure out where I'm trying to go. Oh no! Not the big key to Green Pendant Landmo.
Oh no. At least that one has items on it.
It did. I'm on record as having said. I am on record as having said Hey, I bet you that book and that desert are important in this seed. It's already given us a hook shot. What else could it possibly give us? So the problem here is, as long as Mike is literally... We have 2 shields in Kakariko? We have 2 shields? To answer a question in chat, this is probably go mode for Mike right here. Yeah, once he gets to that, this one's over. Turtle Rock Big Key is in Spike Cave, and right now, because of where... Eddie, don't leave the chest behind! Okay. Because of where the 2 invincibility items are for Adilor, one is behind Turtle Rock as a crystal, the other one is in Turtle Rock as a crystal. Adilor decided not to dive it at all. He doesn't have the big key. He'd like to just not have to deal with it. So, just a bona fide mess here for Adilor, because that big key is sitting in a place that he's never going to consider. And as soon as Mike does this peg cave, then he will be in go mode, and we'll be talking about fighting Ganon in the next 15 minutes or so. Get a number in your head, everybody.
Don't put it in chat yet.
I said in your head, not in the chat. What did we just tell you? That's it. Game's canceled. 1337. Thank you. -3. I mean, when Adilor did Eastern, it was looking really bad. Well, now it looks crazy bad.
It looks ridiculously bad, because in about 15 seconds, Mike's going to be in go mode.
And here he goes. 15 hearts and blue mail, a gold sword, and some silver arrows. This is pretty safe, I would say.
I thought that's why he had to take the portal, but then I remembered we still don't have the mitts. Humor me, Ruby.
Yes?
Do you think it would have been faster to just flute to 3?
Actually, yes. You 1 mirror transition instead of 2, and the flute puts you right at the door. So, absolutely. Oh, we see our stun prize for the first time in 91 minutes, and wouldn't you know, money was never a problem if only all of our stun items weren't locked in the dark world, or the light world. Hi, everybody. Volume 8 of this restream crew, forgetting we're playing inverted.
I suggest volume 7. It's a really good volume.
I should say forgetting we're playing in Roja specifically. But, you know. All right, we got a blind fight for Adilor on the screen, who's just horsing around, clearly. Of course, if you handle this script every single time, then this fight will never change. Adilor is doing just that right now, and Mike will probably do exactly the same.
I mean, Mike's not an NMG runner for nothing. He probably has a script memorized.
And Adilor having a little trouble with hits 7 and 8 there, so he lost just a couple seconds on the script, but yeah, nonetheless, blind is down. 6 crystals for Addy.
7 is unfortunately in a very, very bad spot.
And now Adilor has Green Pendant Desert to consider, and that is not going to be the answer, but it's going to look really good for him at the time, because objectively, if you're following the logic, Spike Cave's not in play right now. Oh, he's also going to pick up his mirror shield because, you know, got to finish the collection of shiny plates that protect you from arrows or whatnot.
This one protects you from lasers.
but not BMOS lasers.
And this boss theme still kills me.
It's not like we're fighting against Mac or something. And one of the 7 stars is not going to fall from the ceiling here. That is instead the 7th crystal. So if you have a guess as to just where in Ganon's Tower that big key is going to land, while the rest of our big keys were wild, the Ganon's Tower big key is still guaranteed to be in GT and Ambrosia.
You know me. I like say number 13.
I just want this over with. I'm going to say 3. I think our runners have suffered enough for one day. And you got people saying, Tile Room, let's go. And I'm like, no, let's not.
For one of our friends, Tile Room would be number 3.
Yeah, that would be...
We'd laugh.
If I was ever calling a game for that person, I would probably razz him all the way to the bank. There's also a prediction about to end in chat. Will the GT big key be an even number or an odd number? So if you want to risk some points here, feel free.
And we have a shiny crystal circle there.
Extra shiny because the light of the light world is shining on them. Mike has decided we want to go left to start here, and that is 5 rupees sitting on the torch. So Bob lives today.
Long live Bob.
Long live Bob, unless Rip Bob.
Meanwhile, Adilor is in Green Pendant Desert. Hey, Ruby. Ruby.
Someone throw tomatoes at me now, please. That would be 3. Anybody who said 3, that would be myself and our restreamer, Kono Tyren.
All right, and let the rigged calls begin.
Exclam appeal.
D:.
By the way, that also means odd, so if you paid out a bunch of points looking for it to be even, thank you.
Congratulations, people who voted odd. You just made a small pile of channel points off of the... as you put up 16,000 of the 44,000 put up.
There's Green Pendant for Adilor. Now, do you think he does Turtle Rock before Spike Cave? Because it's turning into last location time for Adilor. And Mike is just making quick work of this gauntlet, courtesy of half magic fire rod and a gold sword. I don't think he's actually used the fire rod until literally just now.
Killing the only enemy is awful kill otherwise.
So we are going to see 3 blinded... Oh. Okay. And the third one gives a moderate hop. That's okay. Landmo to destroyed. Question from chat: who gets to do co-op retrits? Gets in quotation marks. That would be yours truly, and Chloe Prower for the Foxes, and the fantastic combination of Scottish Brave 44 and Zen Arcane for Last Locationeers.
We'll keep watch for that game tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I mean, tomorrow's your day off.
I wouldn't put it past us to do it on Monday, but we'll have to talk. We're going to take this little fun series to the distance here. Getting everybody what they want to see. More rando.
Did Mike just shoot an upward fire at the edge of that pit and hit the torch?
He sure did.
That was cool.
Mike's throwing a lot of swag out on the screen here today. By the way, if you haven't followed these two runners, you should probably fix that. Adilor Soltaire and StructuralMike. Two really great players, two friends of ours, two members of fantastic teams that will soon to be on Invitational. Addy has not read Pedestal. Addy's giving y'all what you came for.
Well, Adilor got the book after doing Lost Woods.
That's right. And Adilor has the Master Arrows. He can now kill Ganon.
Yep. The 10 Arrows of Evil's Bane. Be careful not to use them stupidly.
You know, as the Open League is folding at the end of this season with 4 very great teams at the top moving on into Invitational, do want to remind y'all to watch Speed Gaming because the Invitational finals are still ongoing. That series between Pug Trio and the Titan Mitts. Where are we at in that one, Zeke?
I believe we are 1 game in currently. I believe Relkin and Solsky are playing Cross Keys tomorrow.
Ooh.
And we are currently awaiting schedule between the power players, Andy and Dante.
Well, that's a pug battle for the ages.
Someone in chat, please tell me who won between Futon and Sailor Nap.
I think it was actually Nep that took that one, so Mitts are up 1-0. I know Mitts are up 1-0.
So, if you like watching extremely high-level cross keys, tomorrow's going to be a good one.
Has Addy not come over here to do these checks?
No. No.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I promise I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm not going to cry or anything. This track for Ganon's monologue.
So, Ruby, this might be a first for me on commentary. I think it's the first time anybody has ever been doing checks in the Hyrule Castle area in the back of Escape while the other player is doing Ganon.
In any mode?
Yes. For me on commentary, anyways.
I don't think I've actually seen that either. That's... oof. Meanwhile, Mike has made very quick work with Gold Sword. It's free 1-1, but he would have gotten it with a Tempered Sword, too, based on just how that worked out. Yeah, I can see that in Cross Keys, actually, because if you end up with a... I was expecting him to Fire Rod that, but he's going to go for the left side double, and boom. Down goes Ganon. So let's get some GGs in chat for StructuralMike.
Bringing us to a 2-2 between Last Locationeers and Oops All Foxes. And congratulations to all who want to see co-op retro between these teams. You're going to get it.
We're getting what we came for. That's what we got. We're getting what we came for. We said we want this to go to 5. Nothing on the line for either team. Just bragging rights and lots of fun. Bonus coverage for all y'all. But these players are really showing it. Adilor has gone through Spike Cave and brute forced his Turtle Rock Big Key. And it is at this point that in the race room we see that Adilor will forfeit. So let's get a GG in chat for Adilor as well, because he well played this seed as about as good as anyone else could.
And welcome to the commentary booth, StructuralMike. GG.
I think awkward silence wraps up the entire vibe for this seed.
Just a little.
Waiting to see if Adilor is interested in joining us as well. GG, Mike. What do you feel?
I missed the introduction, if there was any.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You heard awkward silence, and that was the start of my session in here. Anyway,
There's Adilor. GG to Addy as well.
Hello.
GG's.
Well, that was fun.
What happened on this seed, man?
This seed had a flavor, and that flavor is gross because almost all of your crystal dungeons are empty. I don't know. It sounds like we both had some early game trouble with just, I don't know, inverted being inverted.
You know, it's great because inverted, it's the only mode you get to see where someone spawns at Link's house, drops down, and immediately dies.
Yeah. Sometimes that Popo jumps farther than you think it's gonna, or the Ropa. Yeah, sometimes it jumps farther than you think it's gonna, and it gets you.
That's okay. Mike had some trials in Palace of Darkness. Do you want to tell us what's going through your head there?
I was ready to tilt so hard after the uncountable amounts of deaths in pod. And just what happened, you saw what happened. I don't know if I can add more than bad. Execution was bad.
I'm actually going to chalk it up to low percent inverted is bad.
Look, everyone knows that low percent Helmazar is a boss. That is hard. And Adilor didn't have problems with it. Kudos to you. That is amazing to go through that without any major hiccups.
Yeah,
once you die once, you know it gets harder the second time. So it was on that path.
Yeah, like I walk into Helm with 4 hearts because that's all you've got at that point is 4 hearts. And I'm like, all right, this is gonna be the nice, slow, careful Helma fight. I've got my sword out all the time with just a little bit of lag frames. You know, it helps out. Just take it nice and slow, and it works out. So you know,
I would guess that you might not have run out of arrows in that fight.
oh no, I had plenty of arrows. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran out of arrows, so I was like, okay, sword spins or hammer, both suck, and I tried both and died.
Yeah.
So we got to watch some other interesting, just inverted things happen on this seed. For example, the Murderdactyl actually claimed Addy's life going up the mountain only because he decided to fly just low enough that the sign went over his head.
Yeah. You can throw a sign through a bird. Yeah.
And you can also walk through a fireball and hug a Lionel.
Yep. So the Lionels didn't do things I expected them to do. the first time I didn't expect to get hit, and I thought I'd just get through it. And the second time I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure I have at least 3 hearts this time. And I expected them to do the fireball and hit me, then I get iframes and go through, but they didn't. The third time I'm just like, all right, whatever. I just react somehow and it'll work out. Lionels are weird. Also, yeah, the murder birds are also weird because somehow they become invulnerable when they're on the ledge. I don't know how that works. It's like a layering thing, I guess.
So, Addy, I'm sure you figured out where the logic is to put you in Spike Cave outside of bottles here.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an invulnerability item in TR. Like, that's the only place it can be. I checked everywhere else.
Yeah, so there's Akina Burna in TR, and we were wondering why you didn't even bother looking at TR, still needing 2 big keys for Go.
I leaned into the crystal dungeons are mostly empty because I'm just like, you know what? I feel like I'm probably not winning this one right now. Let's go a little bit wild and just assume there's nothing in TR. We'll try really hard to find the big key outside of it, and I was right. I just still last located it. That's the thing.
I like to say that we were both not winning that one after that start.
Yeah.
I think chat won this seed, straight up.
I think I won because I got to commentate this thing.
I definitely didn't win because my internet cut out in the middle of the seed.
You also didn't win, Zara, because it was your team who lost.
I also didn't win because I wasn't playing. I still would have lost if I was playing. So let's see here. How many losses do I get?
7.
You took the words out of Addy's mouth. Mike, this is an interesting position for you, playing in a Game 4.
Yeah, I wanted to give Sen the opportunity and reward to play co-op veterans.
Yeah.
As the cross keys champion of our team. He never got to do that, so I was like, I want to do Game 4. You can do Game 5 co-op veterans. That's fun. And here we are. Just as planned, right?
As we said from the beginning.
All according to plan, yes.
I'm happy.
Very calculated.
I'm happy I picked Inrosia and not MC Shuffle.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it, but I was just like, I could pick MC, and because I know Mike likes Ambrosia, he's probably better at it than me. And I'm like, I didn't get to play Ambrosia this season. Let's play some of that because I like Ambrosia. It's fun.
You picked into Mike's strengths for the sake of playing Invrosia.
Yes.
I don't blame you. How often do you get to play somebody really good at Invrosia?
Yeah.
Like that was a hard seed. Like my big play was to decide that there's something on the mountain, and I hadn't been up there since the Moon Pearl, so I had everything like Hookshot Cave, TR, Power of Hera, and I found nothing. It was nothing up there. It was void of items. It was garbage for days, and until the last check, Spike Cave from the Fire Rod locked Burna in TR. I was like, okay. And it's TR big, which unlocks nothing at the point. Because there was no items left in TR except on the boss, and I didn't have Ice Rod yet. It's like, great, but also horrible.
We were kind of worried about you putting off that Ice Rod for much longer than you did, but the front of the castle having 3 items, I think, is what drew you back.
Yeah, I just like, okay, go back for the checks I haven't done yet. Now we gotta go find Ice Rod and TT big, and it's just do the stuff. And oh man, that Eastern Palace big in Sahasla Satya, I hated it so much. I didn't want to go into Eastern. I was like prepared to leave that shit behind.
Adilor hated it more than you did.
Oh, I was angry and happy at the same time finding Hera big in the big chest, because I knew I can leave this. I can just go and do the other things, which was a bit of a gamble, but also played into my hunch that this was not the right place to be. And I was right.
You know, how often do you get an Invrosia seed where all 3 pendant dungeons have logical or hard progression?
No, fortunately enough.
Lots of progression.
But I love how also like all of our like like the optional big keys that you get, like Hera and Ice and Skull, like all those were just dead. Every time a big key pops up, I'm just like and then it's like Ice big. I'm like, no, stop it. We don't need that. Ice is done. Get out of here. Put it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time a big key pops up, I'm like, that's useless. Thanks, game.
So if I may ask, like, what was the mid-game routing like? Because I know I gambled a swamp without hookshot, and then immediately got hookshot afterwards.
Oh, my hookshot felt kind of early-ish. I was happy to see that when I did. I'm like, ooh, hookshot. Let's go take advantage of that. And then I made a mountain trip. Didn't dip into TR at all. Yeah.
You hadn't got into swamp first.
No, I waited on swamp until it was full clearable. I found mirror. Mirror was my access to swamp, not hookshot.
Adilor was considerably later to mirror than Mike was, so when it came to routing through things like Swamp Palace or parts of the mountain, he ended up not doing swamp until much after going into desert. So it was a pretty full clearable. Yeah, that's a pretty full clearable Swamp Palace by the time Adilor finally made it to it.
Shame
full clearable and completely empty.
Yeah. 7 items in swamp, empty.
Had a big heart on left side.
That's not
and
not
a bottle with a bee in it that gave you the mirror shield.
We were wondering when you were going to go back for Sick Kid for your shield that you absolutely need, right?
Yeah.
Along with the Smiths for that shield that you absolutely need.
And that came after the horrible start that tilted me a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna make some plays. I'm gonna go left side swamp without hookshot, and I was prepared to. Well, and then I had to make the choice: do I gamble more after this terrible play, or do I become reasonable? And I debated the whole swamp trip, but I decided to be okay. I'm gonna come out of this. If there's no progression in here, I'm just gonna stay reasonable after this. And I went to the desert like a good boy and followed that book, and that was good because I was prepared to just leave desert until I found myths or whatever, or not go there at all, which would have been horrible for many reasons.
Yeah, I wanted to chase that book early because I'm like, we've got an early book and inverted. I'm like, then the boots are pretty early too. Like I feel like there's something in desert. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm glad I did because that early hook shot was just like, it was nice. Kind of early, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was in the mindset I gotta go fast and just do the dungeons in the seed after my initial slow pod, and like I gotta skip the overworld, do the dungeons, do them fast, never die again, constantly on no health.
We noticed.
Yes, you actually. What the heck did you do, Mike? You were at 0 HP in Thieves Town. Good job.
Oh yeah, what the hell? Never seen that happen before.
You 0 HP glitched into Thieves Town somehow.
Oh,
It was great.
I was
okay.
at like a quarter heart, and then I got bopped by a bush skull into Sea House, and somehow that didn't kill me, and I just ended up at 0 hearts.
Oh,
The game doesn't know how to walk and breathe at the same time.
okay, that's cool.
So apparently that skipped the death from being at 0 heart. I don't know. Someone smarter than me probably knows why I didn't die and why everything I just said was wrong.
Where is Krellbell when we need him, Ruby?
Probably suffering.
Probably suffering at work, honestly, but he would know how that works, I think.
We'll have to have a conversation with some of our glitch friends, either in either of the communities, honestly. But yeah, we're looking at a game 5 now.
Yay!
Hey,
Yay! I'm done. I don't have to do anything at this point.
I'm done. I'm gonna
say
lean
that-
back and watch this. It's gonna be amazing.
you say that, Addy, and I can see you signed up to track already.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I'll be on crew for that one, assuming it's at a time at which I can do it, which is probably yes. But I don't have to play anymore. Not that this wasn't an enjoyable experience. Like this entire league season has been just really fun. Like we had a great kind of like 7 weeks. Like it was really tense. We were thinking, are we even going to make it to playoffs? And then we get into playoffs and we sweep our way to top 4. And it was like, wow, we're good at this game. And then we run into JK Lol, and then they beat us up and keep going. And I'm like, that's understandable. They were probably, if anyone was going to beat us, they could have, I would have picked them to probably take us out. Then we had this really cool bronze match, and we're already done with it. We got one more game. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, bonus series, bonus coverage. We have our 5th game for this matchup between Upsal Foxes and Last Locationeers to be decided. So keep an eye on that schedule. Hey, one of the league administrators has a suggestion as to who to combat match, you two.
Yeah, if it's at a good time, that'd be good.
Yeah, sure. I can give you as a commentator.
I mean, sure, let's try to schedule this game so all 6 team members can do it. Yeah, good idea. I'm sure that'll work out.
It's not going to work.
All 6 team members across 4 time zones.
Uh-huh.
That's fine. It's fine.
A 9-hour spread? No, thank you.
We can do it. We'll make it work.
We'll make it happen.
We'll invent new time zones.
Anyway, any final thoughts from the two of you before we just sit here and banter all day?
I like that pod, actually. That pod was adorable. Getting to the back and finding all the items in a locked pod, and I check Hellway, and I'm like, wait, this is a 6-key pod front. I had a pause. I'm like, whoa, this is an interesting pod. So I'm like, all right, I got to go back to the front to get the keys, then kill the boss and go back into Dark Maze. It was a really unique pod. That was
I was so happy to find a lamp. For sure. 'Cause I was worried I was going to be in the chess game, and I was going to have to go back for that before I kill Helma.
Yeah, he had no money. The no money in this seed until like Stumpy having a big 20. I was like, oh, this seed is so dry.
Yeah. It all worked out in the end.
It worked out, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming, guys, and commentating, and restreaming, and tracking. It's been amazing.
Thank you for racing. We wouldn't have much to commentate if you weren't running.
Oh, I'm sure you can think of things.
I mean, sure, people might listen to Zaru and I banter about anything, but...
Sarupod.
But also, it's much more exciting if there's stuff to watch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, please, if you enjoyed the show, go follow these 2 runners, Adilor Solitaire, StructuralMike, and a big thank you to 2C+, our tracker today, and to Kono Tyrant, our restreamer today. And it looks like we're going to be rating Zelna, who I believe is doing 100% NMG runs. Very, very good vanilla game player. But I think that does it for us, Zaru.
I agree. From those of us here at the League, thank you for watching, and keep an eye out both on the Invitational Finals over at Speed Gaming, and keep it right here, because we have a Game 5.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget Rauken versus Soulscape tomorrow at 7:40 p.m. Cross keys.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Be there for that.
But let's go visit Zelda and see some NMG. Take care, everybody. Have a majorly good Thursday.